next we want to take a look at a series of videos posted by user BrandyNicole2992. She works in an office and oftentimes is the last person in the building at night. And besides the usual weird noises that one can expect in an older building, there seem to be some mysterious events going on lately that made her believe that this place might be haunted. I'm not sure if she works in a clinic of some sort, but apparently there's lots of sensitive client information on the walls, which is why she sometimes needs to record towards the floor. This is what it says at least. Let's see.
So I'm just sitting at work and I hear things fall in the lobby. Not sure. And the lights are off. They were on. Oh, and they're on now. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna be done with that. Oh, nope, I'm done. I'm done. Oh, what was that?
So, besides an odd light malfunction, we have some rambling noises. Could be unusual. Could also have natural causes. Let's skip ahead to another night.
So I'm at work again. Poulter's acting up as we're now referring to her.
If it is not a colleague of hers, sounds like poltergeist activity to me.
Maybe it's somebody. I don't know. Nobody should be here.
Now Brandy tries to make contact and hopes that the poltergeist responds intelligently.
Do you know who I am? Are you stuck here?
And if that wasn't enough to believe that there might be something going on at this workplace, Brandy can maybe even capture a dark apparition on camera.
So I'm pretty sure there's something standing in the doorway to the break room. Am I crazy, or is that somebody standing there? I don't... Do y'all see that?
There clearly is a person standing in the doorframe. Or is it a person? Brandy swears that she was alone once more. And if so, could it be that it is the spirit that is haunting this office? What do you guys believe? Just a hoax or an actual manifestation?
The next few videos were shared by WV Paranormal, and they state that at night they heard some really odd noises in their yard, and then things started to appear there as well, and that's when they slowly started to document all of that. Let's take a look. A bobcat, perhaps? What was that? Oh, wow, that looks creepy. So it ran out of the woods towards him? Look at that. Is that a lady in a dress? Oh wow, that really looks creepy. I mean, that's no bobcat. Well, maybe at this point we kinda can be certain that something else is going on. This is not an animal, guys. Let's see the next video. Oh yeah, another silhouette. Look. What is that? Is that like two eyes, a super weird nose, and there's the mouth? Now, I want to hear what you guys think. What is like spooking around in this dude's yard? And right behind his kids? Once more for good measure. Huh. I mean, at this point we have to say, either there's something really weird living in the forest. I don't even think in his yard anymore.
Now we check out another Reddit submission from user mgirl. The young woman suspects that the security camera in her grandma's bedroom, in which her little kid was having a sleepover one night, captured a spirit which was visiting her little son. She states, "This was years ago and the camera wasn't high resolution and choppy, and I was never sent the video by my aunt. She only shared this picture." My grandma had passed away a few months prior, and I believe her spirit was comforting my son that night. You can see her as she looked around the time she passed, the varicose veins and her easily bruised lady skin, covered with bruises due to her blood thinner meds, her hair not done, and the same moo-moo nightgown my grandma wore often. So, could the young woman be right, and her son was visited by the spirit of her late grandma? Ross Ellison has posted the following part of an investigation their team had held in the Homestead restaurant one night. The old restaurant is located in West Seattle. It is said that they were checking out the perimeter at the time when they noticed something strange appearing on one of the team's members' cameras. They had no idea what it was, but it was clear after a few minutes that it had to be an anomaly. Shadow seems to be peeking out of one of the open doors in the dark restaurant, and then it just vanishes. The team was baffled, to say the least. And they are pretty certain to have captured a real shadow figure here. What's your opinion? A paranormal find? Or was something else going on here? User SkaterDad has shared the following unsettling happenings on Reddit. He writes, "Ghost in my mom's bed. She's only been living there for about 3 years. She's got the camera set up because she kept having things move and hearing things that shouldn't be. She's fully aware that it doesn't belong to her. It all started with the camera capturing these weird rods. But what freaked them out to the core was this apparition over her bed. People asked if it couldn't have been his mom on the picture, but he declined that. A terrifying thought though, picturing that something unseen is watching you at night. That close." After a family member had passed away, this young man was documenting the state of the building the deceased person was inheriting before. He had to make sure that all the belongings and family heirlooms that he found were well documented and listed. As he started to record inside the house, he believes that he had captured the ghost of his relative. Looks like his relative was standing right behind him when he was checking out the mirror. Or was it maybe just a strange light anomaly? Sarah has sent me the following video, which is named Strange Noises Coming from Grave in Iran and was recorded by Truth Eyes. All that is said is that weird noises could be captured that seem to be stemming out of a burial hole. And that's creepy by itself, I find. Let's listen. While these noises are pretty nightmare-inducing, I wonder if it could have been caused by an animal. A homeless person, perhaps, who for whatever reason made it into the grave, or something from another realm. The following video was shared by a security guard who was patrolling a construction site with nobody else on the premises at the time. Everything seemed completely normal until they checked the security cameras and realized that something else was appearing on the tapes. Look at the speed at which this apparition was approaching the man. As the guard reaches the left side of the screen, the shadow turns around. Seems to be morphing and disappears again into thin air. Those who have seen this video believe that it was a demon that was perhaps trapped and maybe even trying to attack the night guard. Could this be? Who can say for sure what had happened here? This was shared by Charity Lewis and it features her daughter with a toy camera. She's talking about her day and is basically just recording a little conversation she seems to be having with her dolls. However, at some point the young girl leaves the room. And then something strange is being captured.
And we also got ice cream that day, and I'm having a lot of fun.
Notice how a dark shadow object is popping by the entrance. We later learn that nobody was in the room anymore, which makes us question what was captured here. Was it a shadow being, therefore a paranormal incident? Pretty eerie for sure, and the family has also no idea as of what had happened here. The following case is somewhat strange, one might say even disturbing. The owners of this doll claim to have seen it move out of nowhere at certain times of the day,
On one occasion, a friend of theirs was over, and they told him all about the strange movements of the doll. To nobody's surprise, this event was about to be captured on camera this day. However, apparently, they even noticed a shift in color in the doll's eyes.
Just look. That fan is still blowing and she's stopping. See? See?
Yeah. That's so creepy.
Yeah, it is.
It's also like creepy she won't stand anywhere else on the table.
No, I've tried it in 3 or 4 places up here and she won't do it. Let's see something. Oh, I did not do that.
The doll turns all of a sudden in a pretty disturbing way, right after the owner had touched it. And based on him, the doll does not like to be touched. At least that's his suspicion. They even noticed a shift in color in the doll's eyes. The doll's eyes were originally blue, until they became completely dark in a matter of seconds. Unfortunately, we do not have more information about the case. However, many believers say that dolls can act as a vessel for ghostly entities, which includes the positive ones as well as malevolent beings. So, one must be really careful when noticing such strange activity.
The following video was captured by a man who states that recently he had been woken up by some really odd and eerie noises that were stemming from the crawl space above his bedroom. He never found anything, but decided that tonight he wants to have a camcorder up there to perhaps get a glimpse of what is causing this disturbance. Once he checked the footage the day later, he couldn't believe his own eyes, as a creepy-looking head seems to appear in the right corner. The man believes that this is nothing positive and that maybe an evil entity made its way into his home. A scary thought for sure.
This next clip was uploaded to Facebook by Soy Masha Luck, the wife of the infamous store owner Joshua Luck, who had to deal with a terrifying haunting involving several shadow beings in his home. I'm sure you all remember. The woman writes, "This video was taken by my daughter while she was playing with my cell phone. I usually delete these photos she takes because I thought they aren't important, but this time I got curious and I found something when checking.
¿Qué hace, mami?
Limpiando porque está bien lleno de polvo la casa. ¿Y tú ya hiciste lo que te mandé, hija?
Sí.
¿Ya viste que ya pusieron la tele?
No.
Para ponernos a ver películas, comiendo palomitas.
Sí.
Ya te llegue tu mande.
Mami.
¿Qué pasó? Sí, hacemos palomitas, fíjate.
Sí.
Ahorita que venga tu papá para allá irnos a la otra casa. ¿Ves? Siéntate, Luan. Ahorita quiero que me ayudes a remontar tu cobija, que la dejaste ahí tirada. Y ya en la otra casa ya vamos a comer. Ahorita que lleguemos allá ya vamos a comer.
In the video, we see Masha cleaning her house while speaking with her 2 children, one of which is holding the cell phone, taking the video. The phone pans from the dining room table to the couch multiple times, and we can see the little hallway is always empty, except for a few items and a water jug, until we see a very dark figure that looks like an extremely tall person. Is it possible this is a ghost or even a shadow figure? There are no distinguishable features, just the shape of what seems to be a human in total blackness. Could this be the same entity haunting her husband as well, and that has taken over their home? Let me know what you think. The following was a video that was sent by Thomas. It was recorded by a camera mounted in a man's car. He was on a nightly drive and received a call at the time. He decided to pull over and to answer the call. He seemingly was distracted at the time. His dashcam camera, however, recorded something sinister on the back seat. A really creepy face seems to be staring at the camera. Many commentators speculated that the man was riding along a haunted stretch of road that night. Could that be so? Has he gotten himself in some ghostly trouble here? Certainly a terrifying image, wouldn't you say? Who knows what that thing is? The following was found in the paranormal Reddit section, uploaded by Hen Brolo, the user tells us. This stems from my friend's home, and they have a security camera in their living room. No one was home at that time. They always felt that something was in there, even before he moved in. Something that tampered with the furniture, especially at night. Let's take a look at the door. Something is seemingly touching the door on the bottom and slowly closing it. But how is that possible? Especially since nobody was home. Some commenters think that it looks like a super thin arm is closing the door. Could that be so? Does this mean that something otherworldly was responsible for this? I mean, it does not look like a human arm, does it? This is the case of Joe Cummings, who captured something really creepy after installing a security camera in his kitchen area. The young man states that he noticed food disappearing overnight and that other several items were sometimes found in places where he certainly had not left them. After confronting his girlfriend, she denied to have been the culprit, making Joe actually question his sanity and then installing the CCTV camera. What he found was quite shocking, to say the least. A strange woman is crawling out of the crawl space on top of the kitchen area. She then keeps going through Joe's fridge, eating his food, checking the pantry, and hanging out for a little bit.
before Joe decides to go for a little midnight snack. The scary part is, Joe did not notice the freeloader in his kitchen and went back to bed. Can you imagine the imminent danger he might have found himself in? Shortly after, the woman returned back into the crawl space. When Joe checked the footage the following day, his jaw literally dropped to the floor, and he had police take care of the matter. What a creepy encounter. The next video was recorded in Santiago, Chile, in the year 2012. It was recorded by a father, who was filming a group of children singing for the local church choir. He wanted to record the memories on his cell phone. He stated that he was absolutely sure that nobody else was with him in his seat row at that time. His camera, however, recorded something really interesting. Transparent person is walking in front of the camera. Very odd indeed. The man showed the footage to the priest after, who believed this to be an angel perhaps, who was visiting that day. Could this be? Guess we will never know for sure. The next video was shared by a bus driver who was just finishing up his shift when he noticed a stranger on the bus camera, which caught his attention initially, as this was the last stop he made. So he got ready to make his way up the upper deck to kick this person out.
Wah, betul lah. Pagi-pagi dah buat seram lah. Boleh ada orang kat atas kan? Sial kan, tak ada orang kan. Berderau darah aku lah, celaka betul lah. Aku puas jerit kan dia suruh turun tadi kat dekat tempat turun orang. Nak bawa lagi sini. Pokemon betul lah.
Nobody was there. The person he saw on the monitor was just vanished. And he had no idea how this was possible, as this had never happened before. The question is, was this all just a skid? Or did the man capture a passenger from the afterlife, perhaps? Michael and Heather are a couple that like to tamper with the paranormal forces. They stream some of their Ouija sessions to their viewership, and ever so often, some really interesting events are unfolding. But lately, as one would expect, these forces seem to make it into their house, even if they are not playing with their Ouija board. As we know, playing with a board opens up a door that oftentimes can't be closed easily again.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yet they decided to proceed with their live Ouija sessions. On a side note, never take off your hands off the planchette without ending the session first.
I'm freaked out now.
As you can imagine, it didn't end there. The following night, they heard some disturbance from outside of the bedroom.
Shh, shh, shh. Who's there?
Did a poltergeist open all their cupboards? Or were they opened previously without showing us? But it escalated even more. Around 2 AM, an intruder seemed to start ringing their doorbell. Nobody can be seen outside their house. Strange. It seems that to this day, these events haven't really calmed down. They have several security cameras mounted in their home to capture all the activity. Even their pets are starting to get freaked out. Let's see how this case develops in the future. The next clip was uploaded in 2008 and was filmed in a care home for the elderly called Northern Hall. The story goes that staff and residents were constantly hearing noises around the building that sounded like a cat, although no animals live in the building. After a few weeks of searching for the animal with no luck, the caretaker decided to set up his laptop to film the hallway, since apparently the sounds were most commonly heard late at night. Let's see what he captured. It was thought that this could possibly have been the spirit of one of the residents' cats coming to visit one last time. What do you all think? Is this truly a ghost sighting or just a hoax? Layla Loves Locks is a young woman who mostly shares songs and choreographies on her profile. However, sometimes she uploads a different kind of video. Something that is not related to her singing or dancing at all. She keeps a little video diary in which she documents about odd events that are unfolding in the home of her and her husband. After moving in, she swears that in the midst of night there have been really loud noises above them. And while giving a little room tour, Layla shares some of her thoughts with us as well. Turns out that the night before, when home alone and performing a dance, something appeared on the recording that shouldn't have been there, right behind Layla.
Hi guys, I'm just doing a quick update. So I just want to show you what's in that room and maybe that'll make things a little bit easier. So this is where I filmed that video in front of this window, and then if you turn around, this is that room. And we do have a weird attic here that I've never been into. So this is my husband's gaming room, which is even weirder. And this space sort of here, just here, is where the shape was. And even weirder, on top of my hairdressing trolley down here, I have this. It's not real, it's fake. I bought it as a placemat. I don't have the planchet to it, it's never been used. I don't know what to do with it. I just use it to mix up bowls on top of. If you look at any of my hairdressing videos, I'm mixing all of my colours on top of this. What do I do with it? Someone give me advice.
Many experts will tell you that it is not a wise decision to keep a Ouija board in your house, especially if you're not storing it in a proper and safe place. Could it be that the activity might be related to this? Impossible to say at this point. Let's jump ahead a few days when Layla and her husband decide to check out that ominous attic.
Right, I covered the board with a black sheet. He's gonna go up there now. What was a flash up there?
They notice something strange in the distance, behind one of the bars. Two glowing eyes appeared out of the darkness, but it doesn't look like a human pair.
Maybe it was something completely different though. Could it be the same thing that she captured the night in question? Let's take a look. What's really interesting is that this shadow apparition leans in out of the computer room of her husband, and then within 1 second has just vanished into thin air. There's no apparent cut in the footage, so we have to ask us once more, could this be a paranormal incident, possibly related to the Ouija board, or something that remained in this apartment? If it is not special effects, it's definitely a mystery.